Hello everybody, December 20th, 2013's weekly wrap-up. And I'll quickly tell you that we did release a clip on what? The advanced voice course. I know I've been working really hard on the harmony course, and I still am. But I want to get those final clips in on the advanced voice course, and one of them was the introduction, and I will expand upon that in the next couple lessons, about the bebop scale. Now, if you know anything about the bebop scale, cool. Either way, vocalizing to the bebop scale, I'm going to tell you why that is kind of cool, because it allows you to come up with thoughts and ideas with licks and lines that alter notes outside the key and bring them back in again. Now, I'm not going to spend too much time here on the wrap-up talking about what a bebop scale is, but I'm going to give you a little bit of information about what a bebop scale is for anybody that's watching. First of all, jazz players and rock players, blues players, the instrumentalists, they all like to play a lot of consecutive eighth notes as their chops get a little higher up the road. And these consecutive eighth notes work out in one measure, like 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and so forth. And when you're really structuring good licks and lines, one of the easy rules to keep you inside the chord changes is that you want to make things work out even to hit those chordal tones on the downbeats. Well, putting in one little extra chromatic tone, which turns out to be a little passing tone that moves through the key as you're playing through the scale, helps that happen. Helps you end up on the downbeats as you're doing consecutive eighth notes. So that's one of the reasons that bebop scales were invented, just to keep everything even and to fall on the downbeats, on the strong chordal tones as you're doing your licks. Now, again, it doesn't matter if you're vocalizing and holding long sustaining notes and doing licks in various different ways to come out strong and sound good into the chord changes, or if you're playing instrumental music. So I'm always, and have always been, into hearing all of the sounds, not be intimidated by them, and regardless of the fact that you're thinking as a singer or as an instrumentalist on an instrument, to not to think that those two worlds are so far apart. Learn many things as a vocalist that's made me a better instrumentalist. My whole structure of singing harmony and understanding harmony and arranging harmony as a vocalist just opened up my ears immensely as a jazz guitarist. And vice versa, my ability to play the guitar and the violin and so forth and think about all the scales and patterns in a faster scalular way than you really think of so much in singing, unless you're trying to scat sing. Well, if you opened up the door to start to listen to those scales and move those scales around in different ways and internalize them so they're not intimidating in your own mind, suddenly you can invent so many things with your voice. You don't have to just do it in a bunch of consecutive eighth notes the way the instrumentalists do it, but you start there. So anyway, that is why the bebop scale is another important scale to start to internalize as a vocalist as well as an instrumentalist. And Step 47 in the Advanced Voice course was released this week. And again, if you're on the website, all you have to do is go on over there and go to the Advanced Voice course and hit on Step 47, and you'll get a lot more information that I just give you right there, and some exercises to help you vocalize through your bridges as usual. Now, on the musical tip of the week, I still want to work a little bit more with vibrato and talk about loosening up the chords and not pushing the power to help you still find vibrato and work and help out one of our students named John. So I'm going to do the regular camera magic here and shift myself over to the piano right now. So bam, here I am. So let's talk about, if the vibrato is still not happening, you're trying all of these different things I've been suggesting. You know, I'm not there with you. And if I was vocalizing you straight off, or if I could hear you vocalize, anybody out there in camera land, I'd immediately be able to listen to what was going on, and I'd be watching you to see if there was any stress, if you were wrinkling your forehead or putting any secondary tensions in your voice, even if you don't think you are. And always talk about the fact that when it comes to singing with quality of any type, not just developing vibrato, that if you're pushing too hard, trying to sing too big and too hard, that can stop your vibrato, pushing too hard through your throat. So again, another way of discovering or at least getting something going on is to truly maybe even exaggerate in the beginning, backing off a little bit from the air pressure through your throat. So I always like to say all the time, not just here, but for good technique, every note has a three-step event. How you start it, how you hold it, how you end it. Onset, sustain, release. Start your onset smoother without banging into it. Let's take this note for the guys here, and this for the ladies. And if we go, just nice and easy, and just practice on getting a good onset or start, and get the air pressure up there. So we take a breath, we've got support, and we just practice going like this. Now I'm not going, see, I'm not doing that. And I'm using an ah right now, but I'm going to use a couple different vowel sounds and explain why in a moment here. But first, let's take the ah, open up the mouth, open up the throat, nice and easy. Everything is open from from front to back. And you want to go, and just put a starting note on there. Again, and now hold a note, and hold a note steady, but in a very smooth, non-pushed, good onset with no secondary tensions in the face or the neck way. And back off a little bit at the end, like this. And maybe something just that soft, like I just did there, the vibrato might start to kick in a little bit. You can certainly control it better when you're not pushing too much air pressure through. Now, can you sing with lots of power and vibrato? Of course, but you've got to get the muscles doing the right things before you put on the gas hard. Now, I was saying I want to talk about some different vowel sounds. Quickly, we have what's known as open and closed vowel sounds. Sometimes the more narrow vowel sounds create less air pressure. Ooh, meaning like an oo vowel sound will come through easier through your vocal tract and your vocal cords than an o will, for example. If I go, oh, or if I go, ooh, that definitely feels different in my throat. Let's take the u vowel sound. Ooh, and get gentle with it again. Ooh. And see if that'll come in. Now let's try to go. Ooh, good onset. Ooh, gentle. Ooh, and go to an O. And that will change the air pressure slightly, but don't go ooh, oh, and try to make it all big. Just easy, so we're just barely having good chord closure. The chords are closed and sealed, but we're just not singing very loud, which equates to not pushing too much pressure through your vocal cords. Now try this and siren up like and then come back down again. I'm going up a fifth. If I were to show this hovering, it's like hold a note, ooh, bring it up and sustain, ooh, kind of hover right there, and if your vibrato comes in, fine. If it doesn't, don't worry. Ooh, and then back down again. Try that. And ladies, you can do it about here, or maybe even here. To here. Let's go back to the guys. keys, you can do it up in the same octave as the guys are doing it. Whichever one of those is more comfortable for you is fine. So I'm saying take little slides, take a new, start with an ah, ah. And there's no one more right than another. It's just what maybe is more comfortable for the shape in your voice box that helps you discover this. Ooh. Now if I give it a little more pressure, ooh, it's really easier for me to get vibrato on the higher note because I've supported the note better. Now, because I'm telling you to sing this kind of light, but it doesn't mean non-supportive, and it doesn't mean totally breathy and wimpy, but light. And then as you start to get a little bit more comfortable with it, you can add a little bit more. Again, just in singing in general, this is a good process to go through. Singing your melody line light, no matter what it is. And then bringing a little bit more energy in until things start to line up. And what do I mean by lining up? I mean that your muscle memory has kicked in and vibrato starts to happen automatically in your muscle memory. That's what we're looking for. But in the beginning, anything that we can discover and not fight it, but just let it start to happen. It will happen. I've had so many students over the years say, this is never going to happen, this is never going to happen, I can't do it. And they all learn how to do it. It just takes a little longer for some than others. So have the tenacity to hang in there, and you'll get it. Keep working.